Shalom, shalom, brothers. It's brother Kamal Mahar here, back at it again. First thing first, we're going to give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, and qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders on this true from GMS. Blessing to the Aki, my dear, preaching his word with wholehearted sincerity. Blessing to 144,000, 1/3 entirely. The first fruits, kingdom of heaven, house of David, Yahawashi. And shalom to you brothers out there speaking in different tongues and looking in different nations. Shalom to you brothers. So today, brothers, I came across this one video. There's a YouTube channel called Secure Team 10. I've been following them from some time. I haven't seen their videos in a while, but they're strictly, I wouldn't say strictly, but they're 85% of chariots, man, so-called UFOs. And, and it's pretty much a video going over how how this is now a global phenomenon now. So it's like everybody know what a chariot is. Well, no, they don't, but the whole world knows what those things are. I'm not gonna say they know what they are, but they do. They are being seen on a large rate, and we know why too. Right here, there's this one. It says, "What is happening? Global UFO events leave news media." Probably said something else. I'm not really sure what it said. Leaves news media shook. Okay, so right here, I kind of fast forward a little bit because the next video it shows chariots in the scriptural form. Let me see something. Let me go ahead and play this.
Look closely. There's something hanging from it, is what it appears to look like. And I'm doing the best I can with analysis here, trying to bring out the colors and the shape, but very, very strange. Let me know what you guys think. And so let's move on to the next and probably the most popular story that you may have seen as of late in the last couple of days. And that is a string of lights that were captured on video from an airline pilot of what can only be described as strange rows of lights. We're talking almost 40,000 feet. Multiple news stories about this. Here from The Independent, pilot records baffling UFO fleet over Pacific. The Sun, titled Mysterious Skies, incredible video shows 12 UFOs flying in formation as pilot exclaims, "That is some weird."
12 of them though? Man, that's some spirit. That is super spiritual. How is this 12 of them though? 12 of them though? Wow.
Ish. And well, here is the video. Around 30,000 feet above the Pacific Ocean.
See, that's beautiful because they're in formation. There's two scriptures that come to mind. One in Isaiah and the one is in the book of Psalms. I'll just go ahead and bring it out. Let me see, Psalms 104. Let me see what 104 and 3 looking like. It says, It says, I start at 2. Who covereth thyself, and I just started 1. Bless Yahawashi, my soul. O Yahawashi, my power. Thou art very great. Thou art clothed with honor and majesty. It says, who covereth thyself with light as with a garment, who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain. Point is here, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariot, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. It's amazing. And it says, who maketh his angel spirits, his ministers of flame and fire. Because a lot of those chariots look like orbs of light, look like stars. Some were even claiming that they look like engulfed in fire, like as the color of amber. That's also in the scriptures. And also there's actual interviews of people describing the same color of amber. It's incredible. So that's how you know this thing is on point. And if you see right here, the formation that they're in, you can see that they're in formations of 4. So they're in rows of 4. 3 rows of 4 is 12, which is very spiritual. But they're in rows in their formation. So, shoot, that's like being in decency and in order. But right here, what that looks like is, what other birds do that? They kind of fly in rows, or they kind of fly in a V shape, or they be in some type of an order. But what comes to mind is Isaiah 31 and 5. It says, as birds flying, so will Yahawashi host defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it. and passing over, he will preserve it. Right. And so as birds flying, and when you look at roads, sometimes look at birds, they can do the same thing, especially the more sophisticated ones. I can't tell you off the top of my head which birds can do that, but they do. I have seen rows of birds before, and especially in a V-shaped formation. Matter of fact, let me see something real quick. This is a what you call a long shot, but I know it exists. Okay, so here we go. So you got birds do more of the V shape, but they're in order though. It's always like a V-shaped thing or whatever, because obviously it's more or less the leader. The leader of the pack will be in the front, I would assume, and that'd be Yahawashi, man. You know, but they're in order though. You see what I'm saying? They're still in some type of a shape or a form or a formation, and that's what those chariots were in. It says, as birds flying, Isaiah 31:5, as birds flying, so will the Lord of the Lord Yahawashi host defend Jerusalem. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. Right, because right here in Matthew 24:30, you know, what is one of the duties of the chariots besides destruction? Is to deliver the elect of the nation of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians. It says Matthew 24:30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. It's beautiful, man. Lord willing to be a part of that number. But that's where it's going into when you go back to Isaiah 31 and 31:5. You know, it's kind of going into it. It says, as birds flying, so will Yahawashi host defend Jerusalem, right? Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it, right? Because you got to think about it. Those chariots are going to come or go over the four corners of the earth. It's going to be brothers on the ground, and eventually going to pass over brothers and beam brothers up. That's preserving. That's preserving the elect, because there's ultimate ICBM missile calamity, chariots with the laser beams, all types of calamities going to be happening. Roughly the ICBM missiles, and before that happens, you can't let the missiles hit the elect. You got to preserve the elect. So that's why the Lord will pass over and preserve the elect, or he will send his angels to the four corners of the earth and deliver his very elect. That's what that's going into. It's a beautiful thing, man. Lord willing, brothers can be a part of that. But I wanted to bring that out because it says, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. So you're going to see a lot of chariots in the sky like birds. You know, I always would look at it like, matter of fact, I think I brought this up before. Let me see. Like this. This is what I perceive when the chariots come back. This is how I'm looking at it. There's going to be fleets of chariots that are going to look exactly like this. I mean, this is beautiful. Because even brothers in New York seen something like this before when it comes to chariots. Just a fleet of chariots just in the sky, like out of nowhere. Let me see something. Matter of fact, there might be an actual picture of that too. A fleet of UFOs, which actually on a low level was seen already on how they're going to look when they come back. So here's the one that's pretty popular. The guy was saying, here's a good one, something like this. That's pretty nice. Now this is probably the best one. You can probably, ooh, that's incredible. Probably something like this. There you go. See, those are a fleet of chariots. Let me see. Watch. Go to this too.
So, my son got me this weird new tool for Christmas. And at first, I thought it looked kind of cool.
Look at that. Look at all those chariots. And see, the scriptures was going into, as birds flying, so will the Son of Man come, right? If you can kind of, let's see something. If I can kind of get this to turn a little bit. Okay, here we go. Look at that. Look at all those chariots, man. That's a lot of chariots. You see that? See that? Now, if you can look at it closely, you can really kind of see it. It's like thousands of them, man. Like they look like stars. The green probably doing no injustice, but But this is a pretty good picture by itself, you know, even something like this. So this says a massive UFO fleet. Look at all those chariots, man. That's how Yahawashi is going to come back and deliver his elect, and also do that destruction, man. You know, that's exactly how it's going to go. I'm gonna play a little bit more of this.
I don't know what that is. That is some weird shit.
Okay, so pretty interesting, right? Now, I analyzed this further, and I realized that although it looks like the lights seem to be moving in perfect synchronization as if these were reflections, they're not. You will have one light on one end disappear while another is appearing on another formation. They are definitely not in sync. It just looks like that way. They're very closely in sync. Now, the pilot, as you heard, was totally baffled, and I honestly don't know what this could be. You're 39,000 feet above the Pacific Ocean. Someone said, oh, well, it's just military flares being dropped, which could make sense. You know, it kind of does look like a few jets are flying along, dropping flares one after another. But then again, people also rushed in quickly to say, hey, this is almost 40,000 feet up in the air. What would be the point of a couple of jets dropping some flares above the clouds at this high in altitude and this close to an airliner without even letting the airliner know whatsoever? So that if the pilot did encounter or see the lights, which obviously he did, he wouldn't be afraid or put the passengers in danger. So I've seen no reports from any military bases saying that these were flares. As of right now, these are a formation of around 12 lights that then vanished into the clouds. As the video comes to an end, at first 9 lights are visible, which then becomes 12, all moving in formation. The closest UFO disappears before 3 more objects reappear outside of the group. The pilot can be heard saying, I don't know what that is. That is some weird ish. That is something flying. He then simply says, gone, as they vanish from view. The video, filmed at 39,000 feet above sea level, was shared on social media. Many praised it as amazing and the best UFO footage they've seen in a long time. So, you guys, tell me what you think. You can easily search this news story. Just simply put UFOs flying over Pacific, and you'll get a number of news stories reporting on it. But as of right now, we have 12 UFOs here, flying in formation at extreme altitudes near a commercial airliner, and it's definitely some...
Almost every guitar player trying to learn lead guitar is doing it the hard way. I know this may sound controversial, but here's how...
Formation at extreme altitudes near a commercial airliner, and it's definitely some very intriguing footage. So tell me what you think down below. Now, next, before we get into some more juicy UFO footage and information, if you guys remember a couple of videos back, I showed you a little teaser of the poster of the film that's coming out called Secret Space UFOs, Rise of the TR-3B.
Okay, brother. So I think this is the documentary or the thing that they were supposed to expose. Secrets. I'm gonna save this actually. So it's going to be called Secret Space UFOs, Rise of the TR-3B. Okay, so I think this is what, because you know the CNN or the news had came up with that they said that the UFOs are real, which we already knew they were. They're chariots of the Lord. But this must be the trailer for that documentary that they're going to finally expose. And this is probably what it is. Okay, cool. That's what's up.
This is a documentary that is going to be coming out on December 16th. However, I'll put a link down below at the top of the video description that you can click on and pre-order it. You can rent or buy it. So I suggest you do that. I was actually a part of the film. As you can see, my name is right there next to the producer and director and creator of the film, Darcy Weir. Darcy approached me, and said he was making this documentary about the 3B is said to be the very first alien reproduction vehicle that the U.S. military, built secretly for space travel. And so in this documentary, Darcy, the director, he hooked up with the best of the best, or the who's of those that could possibly shed some light on what these mysterious black triangles are seen hovering in our skies. I was lucky to be one of those included in the film, along with other prominent researchers in UFOs and avionics, but the time for teasing is over, and right now you are about to see the trailer for the new film, Secret Space UFOs, Rise of the TR-3B, exclusively for the first time here on the channel. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play this trailer.
Let's take a look at this. This is my first time seeing this, so, hey, I'm, for the sake of the video, let's see what this trailer is about. Let's do it.
While it's been widely discussed that UFOs are of an alien nature, we are starting to realize that many of these may also be man-made.
The stuff I was working on wasn't classified. The programs that we're monitoring were.
Unconventional and unacknowledged activities in science that are not supposed to exist.
It accelerated at about a 30-degree angle of attack and left him in the dust. I mean, boom, 8,000 to 10,000 miles an hour.
They looked like butterflies that were on fire. Well, when I played the footage back, there was a TR-3B sitting there cloaked above that ship the entire time.
Why is it that if these are solid triangular craft, are we able to sometimes see stars through them?
You're going to have a militarization of space, like an arms race in space, and that's going to require a significant classified component. That is a secret space program.
We're dealing with something very close to alien technology, engineered down to the atomic level.
Something really odd is going on out there.
So Esau is considered wiser than Daniel, but come on, man. It's possible, I guess, on a low level, but they not about to deal with the technology of Yahawashi. That's just something that the hopeful elect can see right through. You know what I mean? You can see how they were saying that there's technology. With the chariot went 8,000 to 10,000 miles per hour, like at an instant. Come on, man. That's not going down like that. But Esau is trying. They're trying, but they're not going to be able to do anything special, because when Yahawashi comes down to make war in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, it's not going to be. Remember, it says that Yahawashi is going to just shoot one laser beam and all that's gone in one whop. So whatever they're talking about doesn't matter. It is what it is. But hey, these chariots are huge. They serve a purpose to deliver to his elect, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Indian, and also destruction of this place. Let alone bring down all the governments down under Yahawah's feet. Respectfully, I should just, let me get 2 Thessalonians, because these UFOs, these so-called UFOs are chariots of Yahawah, and they are piloted by the angels of Yahawah. That's exactly what they're piloted with. 2 Thessalonians, one of my new chariot scriptures. Not a lot of brothers bring out from time to time. It says, and to you who are troubled, rest with us. Talking about the elect. Because what it says in Jeremiah 14:2, that we are impoverished. We are Israelites black into the ground. We are impoverished. And let me just bring it out one time. For the, while I'm trying to make my point. It says, okay, so it says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish, which means we have no protection. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is going up. Right. So 2 Thessalonians 1:8, it says, 7, it says, into you who are troubled, rest with us. When Yahawashi the Mashiach shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels, and with those mighty angels, they're going to be in chariots, so-called UFOs, that these secure team 10 people are trying to figure out what they are. If you want to know what these chariots are, you can just come to the Men of the Lord, preferably to GMS, and understand what these things are and where they come from. They come from the heavens. It says, right, look at this. In flaming fire, right? Because some of these chariots look like orbs, look like flaming fire, they're like color of amber. In the clouds, they engulf themselves in the fiery cloud. You might see that from time to time. And flaming fire taking vengeance on them that know not Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord and Savior Yahawashi. And that's pretty much, what's going to happen. 9, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of Yahawashi and from the glory of his power, which is his father Yahawah. That's exactly what's going on. And so right now they're just being seen, and they're flying around looking like a sign and a wonder at this particular point. But in reality, they're Esau's destruction and have no idea. Matter of fact, pursuant to Zechariah 5, it says, then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And that's what they call them, tic-tac shaped, cigar shaped. I guess even now triangular like shape. These chariots can form in any type of way they want to do. And he said unto me, what seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 10 cubits. Right? It says, and here's the point. Then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. And that's going into those laser beams. And I will bring it forth, saith Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief. And who's that thief? Esau. And into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, Esau. Cover the faces of the judges thereof. Saying that Yahawashi is an Edomite, and things of that nature. Birthdays on Christmas, etc., etc., etc. The false philosophies that Esau brings in offer. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and it shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Talking about them laser beams, man. They're gonna be shooting out some crazy laser beams. If you don't believe that, then you have to understand how Yahawashi is going to come back, and also the technology that Yahawashi is going to use, the angels going to have as well. That's pursuing into, Revelations, 2nd entrance to 13th chapter, where it talks about how Yahawashi actually, okay. This is the end all be all right here. This particular prophecy here is actually a full-blown description of the actual return of Yahawashi and the angels in really good detail, right? Which is now Israelite 101 of our faith, because this is the chapter that really describes how it's going to go down. Let's look at it from a perspective of everybody think everything is fine. Because remember, 1 Thessalonians 5 talks about the Lord shall come back like a thief in the night, right? So it says, and it came to pass after 7 days I dreamed a dream by night. It says, and lo, there arose a wind from the sea that has moved all the ways thereof. Right, and they talk about in the heavens too, because remember, the firmament separates from the water from above from the waters below. Yahawashi is not coming out of the ocean. He's coming out of the sea that's from the heavens, which is basically going to come through the clouds from the sky perspective. And it says, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. Talking about those angels or those UFOs that everybody is seeing. He's coming with thousands and thousands of those. And when he turned his countenance and looked, it says, when he turned his countenance and looked, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when he filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was and after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven, that to subdue the man that came out of the sea. And this is all the fighter jets and the armies of the world is going to be in the Valley of Jehoshaphat in the Middle East. You're going to be fighting each other in World War III. And then when Yahawashi cracked the sky, like they did at Independence Day, or the second one as well, they're going to band together and go turn their attention to Yahawashi all in one. 6, but I beheld, and lo, he had engraved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region of place where the hill was graven, and I could not. What this is saying is, Edris is trying his best to describe this UFO that Yahawashi came up the sky with. It was so big, he called it like a mountain, and he couldn't tell where it began or where it ended. That's how big it was. Just like Independence Day, the first one, when that UFO came down, and it was so big you couldn't tell, where it ended. Same thing. You had to get that from the scriptures. It says 8, and after this I beheld, and lo, all they which gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight. Right, so they all band together in the fighter jets, and they went after Yahawashi. It says, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. Let's talk about those laser beams. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them all up every one, so that upon a sudden of a normal multitude nothing was to perceive but only dust and smoke. Smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So Yahawashi literally zapped all those fighter jets all in one with a laser beam to get them all out of there in one whop. Like the Angels didn't even get a chance to battle like they do in the Independence Day. Yahawashi just knocked all that out in one whop. And you know what? You also seen that in Independence Day when those helicopters was trying to speak to the UFO with those lights blinking, and then the ship opened up that green, and it shot out laser beams and destroyed them all. And that's when they figured out that they were hostile, and that's when it all went down. It's all in the scriptures, man. It's all in the scriptures, man. You know what I mean? So that's what the UFOs are. I wanted to bring that out to give us some information on what they don't know, what we do. The Israelites, we do. They are our salvation and the destruction of Esau, Edom, and his wicked kingdom, along with the other governments for the vengeance and the controversy of Zion. I brought this out as edifying to you, brothers. Lord willing, we give all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, qadash. Yahawah, he is the be, exists, Bahasham in the name, and the only begotten Son, the Lord and Savior, Yahawashi, Bahasham in the name, and the Holy Spirit of qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who learned the truth from GMS. Blessing to the Akim there preaching his word with wholehearted sincerity. Blessing to the 144,000 and 1/3 entirely, the first fruits kingdom of heaven. The house of David, and shalom to you brothers out there speaking different tongues and looking different nations. Shalom to you brothers.